The president signs it into law that he doesn't have the power. He says he wished he had the power to unilaterally just decide these laws are null and void, that he does it anyway, and just totally ignoring checks and balances, that there's not more outrage about this. Are you surprised about that?
There should be more outrage. You know what we need to do? If he truly was this constitutional scholar and professor, though now we find out he wasn't really a professor, he was a guest lecturer at a school or two, we need to go speak to some of the students whom he lectured and taught and ask them if they understand that he didn't know what he was talking about when he told them, if he evidently did, that the executive branch would be able to usurp and ignore the other branches of government and the powers vested in them. The students got ripped off in their courses if President Obama taught them what he is doing to the rest of America today.
You know, Governor, we have this issue, a really fundamental issue about the balance of power and co-equal branches of government. Big issue. We have a big issue where our government is providing guns to cartels, and American law enforcement are being killed with those guns. We have literally high-level national security leaks coming right out of the White House. How big are these two scandals in your estimation?
It's disgraceful what our Attorney General's efforts have been to, again, usurp the power, the authority of another branch of government. Absolutely disgraceful. Can you imagine if it were President Bush and his Attorney General who chose to stonewall and not provide for the people's representatives on this committee, a congressional committee, the information that they are due? And here it's been a year and a half of this stonewalling and ignoring and kind of an in-your-face jab, that proverbial jab against the people that our Attorney General has continued to engage in. Disgraceful.
You know, Governor, as you have spoken and reflected back on the 2008 campaign, and you've spoken out about it, you felt that really the McCain-Palin ticket was too easy on Barack Obama. We're 140 days out of this election. What would be your advice if Governor Romney's watching or listening tonight, or his campaign? What is your advice to them this time around?
Don't do what we did in holding back the information that the people deserve to hear. And it wasn't Senator McCain who chose to hold back information regarding a sitting state senator who is running for president, the highest office in the land, and his voting record and his statements and his past associations and present associations and his pals. You cannot hold back vetted information that is so necessary in order for the electorate to make a good decision. We are finding so much now about President Barack Obama and his past and present associations with anti-American, Marxist professors whom he sought out very proudly and aggressively sought out to learn from. We learn so much now about who and what shaped President Barack Obama and some of the socialist ideas of his that they fail in other countries and they will fail here in this country. We find out about those, Sean, today, and now it's too late, 4 years later. So for Governor Romney and for his staff that needs to be very, very aggressive and not hold back on information that they will uncover, we need to make sure, in fairness to the electorate, that they are giving all the information.
Isn't the big difference, though, is that this time, Barack Obama was sort of an unknown, and he had a speech, and maybe the moment was right, and he stuck to his message for the most part. The media went along without vetting him. Is the biggest political weapon they have his record, his failed record? And how much do you focus on that?
Absolutely, it is the record, but it's also those elements of his life that went into shaping him. Obviously, much of that has to do with his education and that seeking out of Marxist professors whom he wanted to surround himself with, and the teachings that they provided him. But his failed record as our president now, that certainly needs to be the ammunition, if you will. I'm not inciting violence, but the ammunition, if you will, against our sitting president when we go to consider who the next president should be. And yes, it is the lapdogs in the media who were so personally and emotionally invested in, at the time, candidate Obama, that they couldn't then allow truth to be revealed about who he was, what he represented, what his past record was. But so many, even in the media today, have seen the light and understand